And you're listening to The Fatboy Show on your number one station, RX Radio. Hey, did you have a great weekend? Well, I hope you did. Doing fun things, watching movies, or just chilling or sleeping. Sleeping is also very important, but I do understand that it is something you might struggle with living in a country like Uganda. How can you sleep in the face of all of these problems, right? All of last week, there's been a lot of excitement about our health sector. And there was a trending hashtag designed to bring these all to people's attention and to presumably provoke a government response, the hashtag Uganda Health Exhibition campaign, which we spent a bit of time talking about on this program, which, in my opinion, has kind of landed with a thud. Olive, I mentioned to you that when the new week starts, we'd sort of just look back on that week and how that campaign went. And honestly, my assessment is that it kind of just petered out. It fizzled away. I think the Ministry of Health did a very good job of getting ahead of the campaign, partly because it had been announced that they would be the next target. And so it looks like they got their people to work. I don't know if they hired influencers, as was alleged, but even from their official accounts, they seem to be very proactive in trying to challenge the narratives that were put forward. They engaged in a number of Twitter spaces and so forth. So they very much made themselves part of the conversation, as opposed to KCCA that was more defensive. So the end result of that, I feel, is that the Ministry of Health has come out looking less bad than KCCA did at the end of the pothole exhibition campaign.
No, on paper, the Health Ministry, of course, looked better than KCCA did, but it all goes back to the services. It all goes back to the hospitals. Now, they were able to get ahead of the hashtag health exhibition, but then the question is, are they going to maintain the standards that they have created right now? Are they going to make sure that all areas, all positions are filled, doctors are there, medicine is there?
Probably not, but that's...
Because the hashtag was about bringing to the fore what is lacking in
my
medical
point is,
facilities.
You see, that's kind of besides the point, because we all know that they are deficient in providing these services, but only with respect to how they handled the hashtag.
Okay.
I would have to say that they did a lot better than KCCA. And they had the benefit of having foreknowledge.
No, as far as the hashtag goes, they were smart, because when Spire wrote about it, actually, I remember the spokesperson for the health ministry, Emmanuel Aineviona, saying, "I'm ready with my notebook and a pen." Yeah. So he made himself look like he was ready to actually listen and take notes. But then there was a screenshot. I don't know if you saw it on Friday. There was a screenshot, a WhatsApp screenshot making rounds. Apparently, Dr. Diana Atwine, the permanent secretary, Minister of Health, saying that some people, like many Ugandans, are just backing dogs and there is nothing they're going to do about it. Now, there was a phone number, and when I tried to send mobile money to that number to confirm the names, it was actually registered in the names of Atwine Diana.
Meaning what? So the message is that it is legitimate?
No,
the
meaning
screenshot.
that the screenshot could be legitimate, but it also points to something deeper, that these people that we complain to or about are actually very comfortable, and they know that in the long run we are going to do nothing.
I mean, they have reasons as to why they would think that. I mean, let's be real. This is Uganda after all. I also did see a screenshot by Spire, also from Atwine, but I think Atwine had blocked him on Twitter. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
He was complaining that he had been blocked. So anyway, I would have to say that if the aim of the campaigners, the hashtag campaigners this week, was to bring the Ministry of Health to heel, possibly hold people accountable, I think the impact wasn't as strong as it may have been.
But then that should be sad. Especially if the messages we are seeing are true, then that should be sad, because at the end of the day, if public servants do not feel accountable to the people, then it means we are just wasting our time. Taxpayers' money goes to things we don't know. All these funds we get from the USAID and other non-government organizations are just squandered, and Ugandans are yet left alone and sad and miserable and sick.
I mean, what else is new?
I
right?
know.
Here's what's new. The management of Mulago National Referral Hospital has said it needs about 10 billion shillings to repair and maintain machines whose non-functionality has affected care the care at the facility. This was revealed last week by David Nuamanya, who's the hospital principal administrator there at Mulago, saying that they were expediting the process to restore the functionality of the machines. And among the milestones reached was the completion of the renovation works at the room that houses the magnetic resonance imaging machine, the MRI machine. So, as part of their attempts to further engage the public on what they're doing, they're saying, okay, guys, we need now 10 billion shillings. Now, where is this money supposed to be coming from? Oh, I suppose the government.
And you should note that this MRI machine was installed in 2018 and it has never been functional because of an ongoing renovation. And then, of course, 40 machines, which are essential for disease diagnosis and treatment at the facility, are non-functional.
Okay, well, ain't that a shame?
And when Ebola broke out, it was also realized that the machines and every other resource that had been purchased to cater to emergency illnesses like that had been left unattended to, and they were eaten by, what do you call those insects?
Termites?
Termites. So they had to explain why termites actually ate machinery and some other PPE that had been bought for emergencies like, Ebola or COVID-19.
Well, I'm sure the hashtag people, the people behind the Uganda Health Exhibition hashtag, have been trying to call our attention to these things, but so far it looks like there isn't much in the way of an aggressive, response. We're not seeing the president being inserting himself in this conversation. For his part, he has excluded himself from this conversation. I don't know if it's because the way he looks at Ministry of Health is different. Maybe in as far as Ministry of Health goes, he may feel like he has his interest in it might be different from his interests in KCCA.
You see,
because there's also a political element to KCCA.
Exactly, because it is known, especially in Kampala Metropolitan District, that NRM never wins here. So what do? You try to show that you are listening, that you are actually feel for the people.
So in other words, he is able to undermine the leadership of KCCA in a way that would benefit him.
Exactly. But also you have to notice that road infrastructure affects more than just Ugandans. It affects trade, it affects tourism and many other sectors. Whereas health, our health sector has also been privatized a lot. So many Ugandans that are able are going to go for private medication in private health sectors. And those who can afford more can actually fly out. Keith Muhakanizi, the former permanent secretary, Minister of Finance, died in Italy. The governor of Bank of Uganda died in Nairobi. Eli Tumwine died in Nairobi. So whoever has money knows where to go. So you don't have to worry about Ugandans that don't have the money. They can die for all you care.
As opposed to the portals, where there are even portals in Kololo.
Exactly.
So even the rich can't escape the portals.
So you have this State of the Nation address, or you have these dignitaries coming to Uganda and they have to witness that. You would have to handle that before you handle anything else.
So the urgency is different.
Yes.
I can see how that would happen. Well, anyway, that's unfortunate, but let's see. I don't know if the hashtag might enjoy a new lease of life. There is still a lot to discuss and uncover and bring to our attention. And so I don't know if the activists are just going to slow down their efforts. Are they going to amplify their efforts? Or are they going to move on to something else altogether? Because, it went from portals to this. Who knows what next? Maybe we shall talk to Spy and find out what his plans are.
Yeah.
But otherwise, do keep listening to your number one station, RX Radio. This is the Fatboy Show. Sarah's getting ready to tell us what's popping, so stick around for that.